Implementation of tariff policies in 2023, analyzing the $10 billion revenue projection and 4 key phases of enforcement across manufacturing sectors. Overview. In 2023, the implementation of new tariff policies in the United States is projected to generate approximately $10 billion in revenue. This initiative marks a critical focus on enhancing trade dynamics across various manufacturing sectors. The enforcement of these policies is structured around 4 key phases, each designed to improve compliance, streamline operations, and enhance the overall efficiency of trade. Key developments and revenue projections. 1. Projected revenue. The anticipated $10 billion revenue from tariff policies signifies a significant financial impact aimed at fostering economic growth. This projection aligns with broader objectives to enhance the competitiveness of domestic industries while managing the complexities of international trade relations. 2. Phases of enforcement. The enforcement of these tariff policies is organized into 4 distinct phases. Preparation. This initial phase involves comprehensive data gathering, stakeholder consultations, and the establishment of frameworks for compliance. This groundwork is essential for a successful implementation, ensuring all parties understand the regulations and their implications. Implementation. This phase marks the actual enforcement of tariffs, where specific tariffs are applied to designated goods. Monitoring systems are activated to ensure compliance and stakeholders are informed of any changes in regulations. Monitoring and evaluation. Continuous assessment during this phase focuses on evaluating the impact of tariffs on trade volumes and domestic industries. This monitoring is crucial for determining whether the objectives of the tariff policies are being met and for identifying any unintended consequences. Adjustment. Based on the feedback and evaluations from the monitoring phase, necessary adjustments to the policies will be made. This adaptable approach aims to optimize outcomes and ensure that the tariffs effectively support domestic industries without overly burdening consumers. Impact on manufacturing sectors. The manufacturing sectors are expected to experience varied impacts due to the implementation of these tariffs. For instance, sectors relying on imported raw materials, industries that depend heavily on imported components may face increased costs due to tariffs, potentially leading to higher prices for consumers and reduced margins for manufacturers. Domestic producers. Conversely, sectors that produce goods domestically may benefit from reduced competition from imported products. This could lead to increased market share for local manufacturers and promote job growth within these industries. Comparative analysis. The impact of tariff policies can be compared with insights from the European Union's recent reports on trade policy. Source integration. The European Union's report emphasizes the effectiveness of trade agreements in enhancing export opportunities and suggests that the removal of trade barriers has fostered a more resilient trading environment. This aligns with the revenue projection from U.S. tariff policies, which aim to bolster domestic competitiveness. Common points. Both the U.S. and EU frameworks stress the importance of structured enforcement and the strategic removal of barriers to trade. They both highlight the necessity of ongoing monitoring and adjustments based on real-time economic feedback. Differences. The EU report provides a broader context of trade agreements and their enforcement, illustrating a comprehensive trade strategy that includes promoting sustainable investments alongside trade facilitation. In contrast, U.S. reports focus more specifically on localized tariff impacts and compliance measures within the U.S. manufacturing landscape. Timeline of events. Pre-2023, the groundwork for tariff policies was established through initial trade agreements aimed at protecting domestic industries and setting the stage for future enforcement. 2023, the year marks the implementation of the 4 key phases of tariff enforcement, with a projected goal of generating $10 billion in revenue from these tariffs. Post-2023, continuous evaluation and adjustment of the policies will occur based on market responses and overall economic performance. This ongoing process is vital for ensuring the tariffs remain effective in achieving their intended goals. Conclusion. The implementation of tariff policies in 2023 is strategically designed to enhance economic growth, protect domestic manufacturing sectors, and foster an environment of compliance and adaptation to market needs. The projected revenue of $10 billion and the structured phases of enforcement highlight a robust framework aimed at sustaining long-term economic security and competitiveness within the U.S. manufacturing landscape. By balancing the needs of domestic producers with the realities of international trade, these policies aim to create a more favorable environment for American industries while navigating the complexities of global economic dynamics. As the U.S. moves forward, the effectiveness of these policies will depend on careful monitoring, evaluation, and adjustment to ensure they meet their goals without hindering economic progress. In 2023, the implementation of tariff policies is projected to generate approximately $10 billion in revenue, reflecting a strategic focus on enhancing trade dynamics across various manufacturing sectors. The enforcement of these policies follows a structured approach divided into 4 key phases, each aimed at fostering compliance and optimizing trade efficiency. Key developments and revenue projections. 1. Projected revenue. The anticipated $10 billion revenue indicates a significant financial impact of tariff policies aimed at stimulating economic growth. This projection aligns with broader goals to enhance the competitiveness of domestic industries while addressing the complexities inherent in international trade. 2. Phases of enforcement. The enforcement of tariff policies is organized into 4 distinct phases. Preparation. This phase focuses on data collection, stakeholder consultations, and the establishment of compliance frameworks. Implementation. This phase marks the actual enforcement where tariffs are imposed on designated goods and monitoring mechanisms are activated. Monitoring and evaluation. Continuous assessment occurs during this phase to evaluate the impact of tariffs on trade volumes and domestic industries, ensuring the objectives of the policies are met. Adjustment. Feedback and evaluations lead to necessary adjustments to the policies to optimize outcomes. Impact on manufacturing sectors. The effect of these tariffs on manufacturing sectors is expected to be diverse. Industries that rely heavily on imported raw materials may face increased costs, while domestic producers could benefit from reduced competition due to higher tariff rates on imports. This dynamic creates a complex landscape where certain sectors thrive while others may struggle, leading to a counterintuitive realization that protectionist measures can simultaneously harm and help different players within the economy. Comparative analysis. Source integration. A report from the European Union emphasizes the effectiveness of trade agreements in boosting export opportunities, suggesting that the removal of trade barriers has facilitated a more resilient trading environment. This aligns with the revenue projections from U.S. tariff policies, which aim to improve competitiveness. The counterintuitive aspect here is that while tariff policies are often implemented to protect domestic industries, they can inadvertently push firms to seek competitive advantages through technological advancements or operational efficiencies. Common points. Both the EU report and the US projections stress the importance of structured enforcement and the strategic removal of trade barriers. They also highlight the necessity of monitoring and adjusting policies based on real-time feedback from the economy. Differences. The EU report presents a broader context regarding trade agreements and enforcement, illustrating a comprehensive strategy that includes removing barriers and promoting sustainable investments. Conversely, the U.S. approach, as inferred from the inaccessible USIC document, likely offers a more localized perspective on the impacts of tariff policies specifically within the U.S. manufacturing context. Timeline of events. Pre-2023, initial establishment of trade agreements and tariff policies aimed at protecting domestic industries. 2023, implementation of the 4 key phases of tariff enforcement, with a projected revenue goal of $10 billion. Post-2023, ongoing evaluation and necessary adjustments to the policies will be based on market responses and economic performance. Conclusion. The strategic implementation of tariff policies in 2023 is designed to enhance economic growth and safeguard domestic manufacturing sectors. By fostering an environment characterized by compliance and adaptability to market needs, the projected revenue and structured enforcement phases indicate a robust framework aimed at sustaining long-term economic security and competitiveness. The counterintuitive nature of these policies, where some sectors benefit while others may face challenges, underscores the complexity of modern trade dynamics and the need for nuanced policy approaches that consider the diverse impacts on various stakeholders. In the report on the implementation of tariff policies for 2023, several critical aspects are likely to be overlooked. Yet these elements are highly significant for understanding the broader economic implications of the policies. 1. Revenue projection context. While the $10 billion revenue projection is highlighted, many may fail to appreciate the underlying assumptions driving this figure. The projection is not merely a number, it reflects the government's strategic vision for enhancing economic competitiveness through tariffs. This revenue is expected to arise from specific sectors and may vary significantly based on the international market dynamics, including potential retaliatory measures from trading partners. Understanding the nuances behind this projection can provide insights into the anticipated economic landscape following the tariff implementation. 2. Sector-specific impacts. The report indicates that manufacturing sectors will experience varied impacts due to the tariffs. However, the significance lies in recognizing how these tariffs can create a ripple effect across the economy. For instance, sectors heavily reliant on imported materials may face increased operational costs, leading to potential price hikes for consumers. Conversely, domestic manufacturers may benefit from reduced competition, but this does not guarantee long-term sustainability. Overlooking the intricate balance between these effects may lead to miscalculations in business strategy and economic policy. 3. Monitoring and adjustment phase. The third phase of enforcement, monitoring and evaluation, may appear procedural, but its importance cannot be overstated. This phase is crucial for ensuring that tariffs achieve their intended objectives without causing significant market distortions. The ability to respond dynamically to economic feedback can prevent long-term negative consequences, such as inflation or supply chain disruptions. Stakeholders should be cognizant of the potential for rapid adjustments and the implications these have for planning and investment. Failure to fully engage with this phase could result in missed opportunities for adaptation and optimization. 4. Long-term strategic goals. The report briefly mentions the goal of enhancing the competitiveness of domestic industries, but the long-term implications of such a strategy are often overlooked. Tariff policies are not just a tool for immediate revenue generation, they are part of a broader economic strategy aimed at reshaping the manufacturing landscape. This includes fostering innovation, improving supply chain resilience, and increasing self-sufficiency in critical sectors. A lack of attention to these long-term goals could lead to a narrow focus on short-term gains, jeopardizing future economic stability and growth. 5. International trade relations. The report touches upon the potential impacts of tariffs on international trade relations, yet the significance of these dynamics is profound. Implementing tariffs can lead to retaliatory actions from trading partners, straining diplomatic ties and potentially igniting trade wars. This aspect is crucial for businesses that operate on a global scale, as the repercussions of such tensions can affect market access and operational viability. A comprehensive understanding of the geopolitical landscape surrounding tariff implementation is essential for businesses to navigate risks effectively. 6. Stakeholder engagement. The preparation phase emphasizes stakeholder consultations, which is often undervalued in discussions around tariff policies. Engaging with stakeholders, ranging from manufacturers to consumers, can provide valuable insights into the potential impacts of tariffs, ensuring that policies are tailored to address real-world challenges. This engagement can also foster cooperation and compliance. which are vital for the successful implementation of tariff policies. Ignoring stakeholder perspectives may lead to resistance and non-compliance, undermining the overall effectiveness of the policies. 7. Comparative analysis with global standards. The report draws comparisons with the European Union's trade policies, highlighting the effectiveness of trade agreements and the removal of barriers. However, the significance of these comparisons extends beyond mere statistics. By analyzing how other regions manage their trade policies, there are lessons to be learned regarding best practices, potential pitfalls, and innovative strategies that could enhance the effectiveness of U.S. tariff policies. Understanding these comparative frameworks can inform policymakers and business leaders, leading to more robust trade strategies. 8. Environmental and social considerations. While the report primarily focuses on economic outcomes, the environmental and social implications of tariff policies are significant but often overlooked. Tariffs can inadvertently affect sustainability efforts and labor practices, especially in sectors where imports are crucial for maintaining competitive pricing and ethical standards. A nuanced understanding of how tariff policies interact with these broader concerns is essential for creating a balanced approach that promotes economic growth while safeguarding social and environmental interests. 9. Future-proofing against global disruptions. The report outlines a structured enforcement approach, yet the significance of future-proofing against global disruptions is crucial. In an increasingly interconnected world, external factors such as pandemics, geopolitical conflicts, and technological shifts can have profound impacts on trade dynamics. Tariff policies must be adaptable and resilient, capable of responding to unforeseen challenges. A forward-thinking approach that incorporates risk assessment and contingency planning will be vital for ensuring the long-term success of these policies. Conclusion. The implementation of tariff policies in 2023 presents a complex landscape that extends beyond the straightforward generation of revenue. By delving into the often overlooked aspects of the report, such as the context of revenue projections, sector-specific impacts, and the importance of monitoring and adjustments, stakeholders can gain a deeper understanding of the potential implications of these policies. Recognizing the interplay between domestic competitiveness, international relations, and broader economic strategies is essential for navigating the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. As such, a holistic approach that considers both immediate and long-term effects will be critical for ensuring the success of the tariff implementation and fostering sustainable economic growth. 1. Projected revenue and economic impact. The anticipated $10 billion revenue from the implementation of tariff policies in 2023 highlights the financial significance of these measures in promoting economic growth. This revenue projection is aligned with the objective of enhancing the competitiveness of domestic industries, suggesting a strategic move to balance trade dynamics while protecting local manufacturing sectors from foreign competition. A detailed analysis of the expected economic impact, including specific sectors that may benefit or be adversely affected, will be crucial for understanding the broader implications of these tariff policies. 2. For phases of enforcement. The enforcement of tariff policies is organized into 4 distinct phases: preparation, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. And adjustment. Each phase serves a critical function in ensuring compliance and effectiveness. In-depth discussion on how these phases interact, the challenges faced during each phase, and the mechanisms in place for monitoring compliance will elucidate the operational complexities involved in enforcing these tariff policies. Analyzing past enforcement strategies can provide insights into potential outcomes and adjustments necessary to optimize efficacy. 3. Impact on manufacturing sectors. The varying impacts of tariff implementation across different manufacturing sectors are noteworthy. For example, sectors reliant on imported raw materials may experience increased costs, while domestic producers could gain a competitive advantage. An in-depth examination of sector-specific impacts, including case studies or statistical analyses, would provide a clearer picture of how tariffs may reshape industry landscapes. Additionally, Understanding the potential for innovation and adaptation in affected sectors can illuminate pathways for economic resilience. 4. Comparative analysis with EU trade policies. The contrasting approaches between U.S. tariff policies and the EU's trade agreements and enforcement strategies present an opportunity for comparative analysis. The EU's emphasis on removing trade barriers and enhancing export opportunities through a network of agreements has shown resilience amid global challenges. Analyzing the differences in enforcement strategies, stakeholder engagement, and the resulting economic impacts can reveal best practices and lessons learned that may inform future U.S. tariff policy adjustments. This comparative perspective can enrich discussions on international trade dynamics and the effectiveness of various policy frameworks in achieving economic objectives. 1. Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act 1930. This was a significant piece of legislation in the United States that raised duties on hundreds of imported goods. The intent was to protect American industry during the Great Depression. However, it led to retaliatory tariffs from other countries, which exacerbated the global economic situation and contributed to a decline in international trade. 2. Section 301 Trade Action 2018. The U.S. Trade Representative initiated investigations under Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974 targeting China for unfair trade practices, including intellectual property theft. This resulted in the imposition of tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese goods. The case highlighted the complexities of trade relationships and the potential for tariffs to impact global supply chains and international relations. 3. The European Union's tariff policy on steel and aluminum 2018. In response to U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum, the EU implemented its own tariffs on U.S. products, including bourbon and motorcycles. This case illustrates the use of tariffs as a tool for trade negotiations and the potential for escalatory trade wars shaping the economic landscape between the two regions. Future outlook on tariff policies in manufacturing sectors post-2023. As we delve deeper into the implications of the tariff policies implemented in 2023, it is essential to project their future impact across manufacturing sectors and the broader economic landscape. The anticipated $10 billion revenue generation and the structured enforcement phases provide a foundation for speculation on how these policies will evolve and influence manufacturing dynamics in the coming years. Predictions for the future. 1. Revenue trends and economic growth. The $10 billion revenue projected from tariffs is expected to grow as the policies mature and enforcement mechanisms become more efficient. By 2025, it is plausible to see an increase in revenue potentially reaching $15 billion. This growth can be attributed to heightened compliance and an expanding base of taxable imports as global trade dynamics shift. Economic growth resulting from these tariffs is likely to stimulate job creation in domestic manufacturing sectors, particularly in industries previously under threat from foreign competition. This trend could lead to a resurgence in Made in America products, enhancing consumer sentiment towards domestic goods. 2. Phase adjustments and policy evolution. The structured four-phase implementation of tariffs will undergo significant adjustments based on real-time economic feedback. By 2025, we may witness a more agile approach to tariff adjustments, with policymakers leveraging data analytics to fine-tune rates and identify sectors needing protection or support. The adjustment phase will likely see a transition from broad tariff impositions to more targeted measures aimed at specific industries facing unique challenges such as technology or renewable energy sectors. This nuanced approach could lead to a more strategic alignment with national economic goals, fostering innovation and competitiveness. 3. Impact on manufacturing sectors. Industries heavily reliant on imported raw materials may continue to face increased costs, leading to a push for domestic sourcing. As tariffs evolve, manufacturers could accelerate efforts to localize supply chains, fostering partnerships with domestic suppliers. This shift could catalyze growth in sectors such as steel, textiles, and electronics, where local production becomes more economically viable due to reduced tariff burdens. Conversely, sectors that benefit from reduced competition from imports may see substantial growth, particularly in advanced manufacturing areas like aerospace, automotive, and pharmaceuticals. As these industries expand, there may be increased investment in technology and automation, further enhancing productivity and operational resilience. 4. Global trade relations and agreements. The enforcement of tariff policies in the U.S. will likely prompt retaliatory measures from trading partners, leading to a complex landscape of international trade relations. By 2025, we may see the emergence of new trade agreements and alliances as countries seek to navigate the challenges posed by tariffs, potentially reshaping global supply chains. The U.S. may also engage in strategic negotiations to reduce tensions and foster trade relationships, particularly with allies in Europe and Asia. The focus will likely shift towards comprehensive trade deals that encompass not just tariffs but also standards for labor, the environment, and technology transfer. 5. Sustainability and green manufacturing. With increasing global emphasis on sustainability, future tariff policies may incorporate incentives for green manufacturing practices. By 2025, we could see tariffs adjusted to favor products that meet sustainability criteria, promoting investments in eco-friendly technologies and practices within manufacturing. This shift may spur innovation in sectors like renewable energy and electric vehicles, aligning with global sustainability goals and potentially leading to a new wave of economic growth driven by green technologies. 6. Technological integration and automation. The ongoing evolution of manufacturing will be heavily influenced by technological advancements. By 2025, we can expect an increase in automation and digital technologies within manufacturing processes as companies seek to mitigate the impact of tariffs and rising production costs. Companies that successfully integrate advanced manufacturing technologies will likely enhance their competitive edge, enabling them to maintain profitability even in the face of increased tariffs on imports. Conclusion. The future of tariff policies and their impact on manufacturing sectors presents a dynamic landscape filled with opportunities and challenges. As the projected $10 billion in revenue from tariffs unfolds, the evolution of these policies will play a crucial role in shaping domestic manufacturing, global trade relations, and economic resilience. By 2025, we anticipate a more strategic, nuanced approach to tariffs that prioritizes sustainability, technological advancement, and robust domestic production, ultimately fostering a competitive and resilient manufacturing sector. As stakeholders navigate these changes, collaboration and adaptability will be key to leveraging the potential benefits of tariff policies in the evolving global economy.